All right, let's bring in now Julia Manchester from our partners at The Hill. So obviously the Florida Keys, DeSantis, the governor there. Currently, he's right now in a blue state, talking to police at an event called Law and Order Illinois, but it's part of this bigger whirlwind tour of police-focused events in major blue cities. Julia, is this anything other than a precursor to an announcement of a presidential bid?
Yeah, Nichole, it's hard to see how it's not anything other than a precursor, because he is going to these blue states, these large media markets, obviously, that will help get his national name ID out there. And he's also talking about an issue that is very important to Republican primary voters, and that is the issue of crime and law and order. So he is directly very much speaking to the Republican base right now, whether it's from New York City or Chicago. And on top of that, he's getting a chance to respond to a lot of the criticism he's gotten from those in the Republican primary field, chiefly, obviously, former President Trump and Nikki Haley. So he's able to very much push back at these appearances that he's at.
And so, Julia, we're taking a look at some video of his appearance here in Illinois. But there's some mixed messaging with this appearance here in the state of Illinois. Even the Fraternal Order of Police distancing itself a bit, saying it was simply asked to promote this, that's what they're doing. It's not a left or a right issue. But really, Julia, at this point, isn't everything a political issue? Especially, he's coming to a city or a suburb of a city that is dealing with a very real increase in crime.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to see how it's not political. I think policy and politics here are very much linked. And this is how he's, like I said, this is how he is very much trying to appeal to that Republican base by talking about crime in a blue state. You often hear Republicans pinpoint Chicago in particular, talking about how it's a liberal city, a Democratic run city, and yet it has very high crime. So they often, I think, Republicans and conservatives like to look to Chicago as an example of what they say is a failure on the crime front. And Ron DeSantis is trying to position himself by going to Chicago right now and speaking to this crowd in Chicago as someone who could potentially turn it around as president of the United States.
And something, we hear a lot from DeSantis, there's this anti-woke messaging, and it really does resonate with a lot of people, but it also sparks plenty of pushback and protests. But Julia, even that pushback could really be potential fuel for his candidacy, right? Because it gets people talking and it gets press coverage.
Absolutely. And I think, to a point, Ron DeSantis wants to get that pushback, particularly from the left, because if the left and the liberal wing of the Democratic Party is attacking him for being too anti-woke and such, he is very much able to appeal to the Republican primary base, which eats that up. They want to see, the left being riled up by some of these policies and platforms that DeSantis is putting forth. So absolutely. It brings him that attention as he's trying to grow his national name ID.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.